what is Ohio? Is Ohio a city?
Ohio is 2 states east.
Oh, okay.
What is Ohio?
It goes Illinois, Indiana, Ohio.
I don't know why, but I thought Chicago was in Ohio.
What? Would you be upset if I ate a sandwich during the start of this podcast?
You said during a sandwich during the start of the podcast?
Yes.
This nigga always going to Jimmy
sandwich?
John's, bro.
I haven't had Jimmy John's in like 3 months, bro.
brother.
Fuck off.
It's been fucking 2 years straight. Jimmy John's every day, man. It's crazy.
Dude, I haven't eaten anything today, okay? I have eaten fucking
Damn.
nothing.
He
and
saved it all for Jimmy John's. He wanted to make sure he
No,
had
bro,
maximum
I was in a-
stomach space.
Dude, I had
for
to
the
get my
Jimmy
ass
John's.
fucking home so I could be here for this goddamn fucking podcast.
Yeah, this
Did they-
stupid
did they-
podcast.
So true.
Does Jimmy John's still sell like their old bread for like
Yeah.
$1? That's just
It's
It's like
Okay.
yesterday's bread, like stale ass bread. You can just get it. for
Yesterday's stale
That
ass
shit's-
bread. That
that
is,
shit is fucking
nuts,
awesome.
dude.
Dude, I loved getting that with my friends after school, like in
You
middle
just went
school.
and got bread?
We gotta get this bread, dude. That's
I was gonna
what
say
you
they
mean.
probably like linked up after school and were like let's get this
I'll get my
bread,
fucking
gamers.
sandwich. Fuck you.
No, man, it's like, you're waiting for your mom to come pick you up, and it's like, I got 50 cents in the pocket. Like, let's just go to Jimmy John's and get a piece of bread. We were.
I mean, to be fair, you could put it in the oven and just like bake it a little bit and then make it unstale.
Sure.
You know, and you could
Sometimes I
just
like
kind of
to,
revitalize
true.
the bread via the oven.
You ever had like
I
that
can't hear out of
thing
my
where
left
you-
ear
you-
right now.
you have like olive oil in a dish,
sucks.
and then you put
Oh,
like,
yeah.
spices in it, and you dip the bread. That, yeah,
At
I
like
used
an
to do that
Italian
too.
place.
Yeah, you do that with the old bread.
I can hear out of my left ear again.
Sweet.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Do you have a
Fuck
stroke?
yeah.
Doesn't that happen on the left side of your
Broken now.
I thought it just kind of depended.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes
Oh,
my ears
really?
just don't work.
That's what we call selective hearing.
Nobody asked.
Oh.
We delivered. Welcome back to the ETNA podcast,
That's the start?
everybody.
Oh,
My name
Sheesh.
is
Oh.
Delaware.
My name is Raven Simone.
My name is Nestani.
My name is. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know, bro. I got a sandwich.
I'm Coley, I guess. I'll be the person to give my actual real name.
I'm just saying, Jaxler really just didn't catch the lob. I hope that he was gonna say Delaware, and then I thought everyone was gonna say Delaware, and that
No.
just didn't happen. He's just.
I
still
figured he
stuck
was
on
going to
this
say my
9/11
name is
bit.
Coley.
No, it's not. It's not even just. I mean, it's not
He's just
9/11. I mean,
obsessed
Raven Simone was
with
probably.
September 11th, 2001.
No, it's not
Never
even
forget.
that. Like,
Guys,
I mean, Raven Simone probably
watches
did the
videos
Boston
on it
Marathon
every single
bombing
day.
too. Like,
In 2026, if we're still doing this podcast, an episode will release on 9/11 in 2026.
Got to keep it going then.
Jaxler's
gotta-
gonna blow up
we
this
gotta-
podcast before we get there.
Damn.
He'll
You're
unleash the
saying
weapon.
he's going to. Never mind.
I'm gonna bring a bomb onto an airplane.
That's what
Jaxler has a bomb.
And by bomb, I mean this dick. Sorry. I don't know.
Wow.
Sheesh. What a guy.
Well, I don't know about that one, dude.
Wow. Okay.
You know.
Wow. That was. Damn, that's rough.
All right. Fuck me, I guess. I don't know.
So that's gonna be the end of the
That's
podcast,
it.
everyone.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, I can't believe you're actually eating on the podcast while we're recording.
Dude,
man.
I'm so fucking hungry.
Dude, I'm like,
What
I'm
am I
so
doing?
hungry, man. Like, what are you talking about? Oh my god, I have to steam
Wait,
a
what
tiny
kind of
tail
sandwich you get?
It's
miscellaneous
just jerky
tonight.
and cheese, bro. I
I'm
just need to
jerking
get
in my
food and get going.
cheese, man. Like, just let me go. Anyway, Delaware, you went to not Delaware yesterday.
That's
This
correct.
past
He
week.
left the confines of Delaware.
Yeah.
He breached containment.
The confines of the entire state of Delaware, bro.
The entire state of Delaware
Yeah,
went
so-
inside of New York.
True.
That's the title.
Yeah,
That's
so
gonna be
to
the
give a little bit
title
of
of the episode.
backstory here. So the TLDR is that, yes, I went to New York City for the day. The context behind this is that since 2010, I've known a group of friends from like the Tekken 6 days. So like 2010, there was a website called Tekken Nation that I was a part of. I was a mod for it. Eventually, I was the administrator. It got shut down later because it was not. So the previous website owner was so bad that there was like malware in the code for the site. So like in order to get that fixed and like upkept, I had to like end up paying a bunch out of pocket, and then like the premium subscriptions that the forum users were subscribing to was not enough to just like meet the cost of that. So eventually I just shut the website down because I was like, no, this is not worth it. That was around like Tekken Tag 2 days. But anyway, so there's like a whole group of friends that I have from that site. One of them, her username is Razor. She plays Hwarong and Tekken.
I really thought you were about to say Raven.
No.
Like, bro, there's no way.
No.
I haven't seen her since 2001 for some reason.
But yeah, her username is Razor. If you ever read Tekken fan fiction, you know her as the writer Razor Athane. She's pretty well known actually in those circles. She wrote a lot of Tekken fan fiction of Hwarong and such.
Real fan fiction or smut?
No, real fan fiction, like stories
Respect.
and stuff. Yeah,
Respect.
Yeah,
Is smut not real fan fiction?
No.
I mean, it's fiction.
now we're just gatekeeping.
but
they're fans writing fiction, though.
No, it's just because here's the thing: is that
smut's
fan
very real.
fiction gets a really bad rap because whenever you say fan fiction, people just immediately think that they're just like fucking characters, like on like command.
Yeah.
When like most of it actually isn't that, and it's actually just like random spinoffs with like an OC, or just like they find a storyline that wasn't fully developed in the show and they develop it themselves. There's things like that. And it's actually pretty cool.
Well, that just sounds like, I mean, smut's
it's like
just
the
too
same
good,
rap
They
that
need to up their
ASMR
game.
gets. It's the same rap that ASMR gets.
Exactly.
Because people just think of
I
ASMR
never
and they just think of ear
Nestani
eating.
to like die on this hill or like go to
That makes
bat for
sense.
fan fiction, but now that you bring up ASMR, now
That
it makes
makes
sense.
sense.
I'm just saying, because
Weirdly
I say
enough.
I watch ASMR, people are like, oh wow, you like niggas licking your ears? I'm like, no. That's not what I like. It's 0%.
not at all.
I like when they
0% of
tap
that.
on like Switch games. You know what I mean? That's fire.
I
They
just
tap on
like
glass.
App on Switch game?
I just like the
like the
conversations
cases.
that
Yeah, like the
people
case,
have
yeah.
in
It's pretty lit.
ASMR, or like the medical stuff or whatever. That was pretty cool. But also like the barbershop videos are pretty dope.
Yeah, he's a role player, and I do think
Yeah.
that's weirder.
All right, sure.
I'm just messing with you for no reason. I actually don't give a fuck.
That's fine. I was gonna say, yeah, I guess it's really weird to want to listen to people talk, instead
Yeah.
of tap on Switch games. I'm the weird one.
Yeah, well, the
Let's be
thing is, the
clear.
people that I watch yap about nothing and tap on the things at the same time. Like
wow.
Marno
Dang.
ASMR, he's really good at yapping and tapping. That was fire. I'm gonna use that one again. I'm stealing that for myself.
Yapping
It's
and
an
I
awfully
got-
hot coffee pot.
Yapping and tapping.
Yeah, you can use that to replace
Christmas.
mango typers from your vocabulary.
That's true. That's true. I can't renew my sub. I was watching a stream the other day though. You can't stop me from watching a stream, but I won't be giving him money anymore. And that's kind of like the line that I'm drawing. You know what I mean? But anyway, back to fan fiction. That's why I defend fan fiction, because my sister used to write fan fiction, and her fan fiction is really fucking good. Because there's like really like
Hell
good
yeah.
stories and stuff. And
Do
so
you think anybody
I,
write fan fiction about this podcast?
people
I hope
have
not.
unironically wrote fan fiction about like streamers and like OTV and friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is
The day
weird
somebody-
because it's not real fan
That's a little
fiction.
weird.
It's I want to bang.
It's
insert
basically
streamer.
fantasizing. Yeah. If it's fictional characters, then that's fine. There's a degree of
It's like fan
separation
fiction
there.
about real people is like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
Stalkerish.
that is.
Yeah.
I would
that
like
is
to
the
say.
It's a little weird.
That is the
Little
weird. Yep.
I want to say a little. I would just say it's weird. Big weird. Lots of weird.
Yeah, that's true. It is big
Giga
No, I
weird.
said.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Unless
Giga
you're
weird.
doing it to be funny. In
No.
which case, no, okay, fair enough.
I was gonna say then like
So anyway, you wrote smut in New York. What were you doing?
no. So I've known Razor since like 2010, and so that like 15 years.
Razor?
I've never
I
met
hardly
her.
know her.
So 15 years, we've known each other, and we've pretty much been like 10 time zones apart or whatever the fuck, right?
Wait, is she
And
not
she
living
came
in
over
New
here
York?
with her. No, she lives in Australia.
Oh. Hey, bruv. We in Australia,
So-
mate.
That is not. That is,
Australia, okay? It's
We in
Australia.
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 We
So,
in Austria-Hungary.
So she came over for Evo with her fiance,
Evolution.
and
Pull up one
there
Evo,
was
by
a
the way.
point where they were
Rivals too.
in.
It's kind of lit.
There was a point where they were in New York for a
shut
few
up.
days. So she was like, hey, you know, could you make it up? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I went up there for the day and hung out with her and her fiance and one of my other online friends that lives in New York. And so that was pretty cool. The trip up there was much longer than the trip back because on the Jersey highway there was an accident. I left like pretty early. I actually left earlier than I had planned to, and still made it there to the Metropolitan Museum of Art later than I had planned to. So that was interesting. I think also maybe the train was like just like a longer ride than I had anticipated. I'm not gonna say which train station I went to. It was one in New Jersey, but there's like 6 of them.
It was
so,
one in
like,
Delaware.
whatever. Well, there is
Next
one.
to
There's a
his
few in
house.
Delaware, but I didn't use that one. No, there's not any near my house.
Ooh, he just doxed himself. That's too much
What was I gonna
information.
say?
Rainbolt's gonna find you
Sure.
based off of just that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rainbow's
You're
gonna
Dream On
find me.
by Aerosmith
I'm being
with
very
the
careful
Google
about
Map
like
for
what
you.
I say right now. Obviously, I mean, obviously it's in the past, but like, yeah. So I took a train from New Jersey, which the New Jersey Transit app is pretty dope because you can just like straight up just buy a ticket on it, and then it's good for 30 days after your purchase. And then you can just activate it like when you get on the train, like, 30 seconds before you get on the train. And it's good for like the next 2 hours and 45 minutes. So even if you just like activated it earlier, but you missed the train, it'd still be good for the next train that shows up, which is pretty dope. So yeah, that was cool. Going back though was much smoother because obviously there's much less cars on the road later at night. But we ended up going to so here's the great thing is that my geography is also almost as bad as
really
Cole's.
good.
So I did not, but it's mostly like localized geography, I should say, because like I know generally where things are like on the big picture, but I didn't know how far away the Metropolitan Museum of Art was from the train station that I was like coming into New York at. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll have to catch a bus. And then I saw like, oh, it'll take like, X amount of time to get there. Or I could just walk like 2 miles or whatever the fuck. So I decided to just run the 2 miles and do my best impression of a New Yorker to be as rude as possible and get around everybody as soon as I could, because otherwise it was going to involve like waiting 10, 15 minutes for a bus to come through. So I made it there in less time running and walking through Central Park to get to the Metropolitan Museum of Art than it would have taken to just wait for a bus. So
Yeah,
I was like, cool,
that makes sense.
good
Kind of
job
a fun
me.
adventure too.
Yeah, it was
Like-
pretty sweet.
You just
so-
drop in hot into a city you're not familiar with and you just start fucking booking it. Like that's kind
Yeah,
of
it was pretty much it what happened. Yeah, I was just like weaving in and out of people. It was great, especially because in New York, nobody really gives a fuck, right? There's like some people that are like, oh, I'm here and being touristy, but like most of New York is just like, yeah, whatever, I get it. You got to be on your way, and they just like forget about you 5 seconds later.
I'm walking in.
So,
yeah.
but I was running there.
Yeah.
So in total, like it was like 4 hours of travel, probably four something hours of travel, for me in the morning, but much less time in the evening. So then after the I want to say, by the way, we spent like 2.5 hours in the Metropolitan Museum of Art and still did not see everything. That place is fucking huge. It is like a mile long or something like that. And we went through a ton
Almost as long as
of
my
exhibits, So we went through a ton of exhibits, and it was like, I'm sorry. I tried to hold it together, man. I was almost there. I was almost there.
Hell, man.
bro folded
anyway.
under zero pressure.
I just had to get it. I just had to. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, we saw like a bunch of We saw like the ancient Egypt exhibit. We saw a bunch of weapons from like in like ancient Japanese weapons. We saw some ancient European weapons. There was a lot. Like we saw this huge area that had like a bunch of like they looked like Greek statues, but they were from like the Americas. Like they were from the last couple of 100 years, but they were like, carved out of marble and such. They were really dope. I mean, some of them were of Native Americans, for example, as well. Doing like one of them was like, in the almost like the thinking pose as well. It was like there were some beautiful statues and like architecture that were on display in there. They just have like some rooms that are set up there are just like old pre-war, like forget which World War, or just like pre-war rooms from like when New York was built. That have like really high ceilings and like the aristocrat, like the rich like people like playrooms essentially, right? Or like the rich people like living rooms and such. There was some really, really dope stuff going on there.
This is going to be a weird question, but like in the museum, I feel like I do this when I go into museums where you look at like an artifact or whatever and you're like, oh man, like I wonder if that's where it came from in that video game or whatever. Like, people in like people who play Assassin's Creed, they like go to like wherever and they see the thing. Like, did that ever happen to you or no?
It is interesting to see some like. No, I get what he's saying, because he's basically just asking if I saw any like through lines in, like modern media that I thought like had maybe taken inspiration from these things. I mean, like for example, on one of the pieces of like a Japanese, I think it was Japanese armor. There's just like straight up the logo that OBS uses that is supposed to be like 3 fish or whatever. It's like 3 very vague looking fish. But it's in orange.
I thought that was
black.
A shuriken.
That's what I thought.
Essentially a shuriken, but if you like look at the black area as the actual positive and then the gray is the background, it's 3 fish that are swimming in a circle.
Negative so that is like space is cool.
That is like an ancient symbol that, you then see the through line there. There's even stuff like, I'm a huge sucker for
something on this podcast.
Dude,
it's wild. So
wait, hold on. I'm also gonna like image search OBS logo because I need a bigger look. Oh my god!
So I'm gonna also blow your mind a little bit here. So like I'm a sucker for like in anime or in like video games in general, like when clothing or weapons have like writing on them, and there was like a bunch of examples of that in the weapons exhibits that we saw and some of the armor as well. Like there was one piece of like chainmail that had like a prayer in Arabic, I believe, just like written all over it and just like, into the chainmail. And they probably like burned it in there or something like that. I forget exactly how they dyed it. But there was even like one sword that had like inladen with like jade or emerald or something into the blade itself. I forget what language it was in, but it reads out according to God's will in the blade. And I was like, that is fire. Because I came off of reading recently, I read like Helsing, and like on the side of Alucard's gun, one of Alucard's guns, it says Jesus Christ is in heaven now, as in like, Jesus Christ is in heaven. He's not here to save you from me. Or like the antagonist of that, on one of his gloves, it says speak with dead. So the Japanese do this a lot with English, like for aesthetic purposes. So it was interesting to see like the inverse of that, where it was a language that I didn't understand inladen on these weapons. So you can kind of see this through line that carries forward to like, the modern media that I enjoy. So it was pretty dope. I mean, I saw a bunch of the stuff from, I saw some clothing from like Korea and some of their art as well. Like even there was like a cabinet or a drawer, like a chest that had like a weird latch on it. And apparently there's like an old Korean legend where like some ruler was so embarrassed by his son that he didn't want to kill his son, but he told his son to go and lock himself in a chest and close the door. And then his son died from being trapped in there. So, he didn't kill him, but
so like the Binding of Isaac treatment.
Essentially, yes. So
Wow.
I feel like that kid's just dumb, bro. I feel like he kind of deserved that one.
I think that was probably the reason why he was embarrassed by him. So
Well,
Because he actually fucking did it.
because he was dumb as hell.
Hey.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Loyalty.
Stupid.
Shouts to that guy from
Stupid.
like a couple thousand years ago or whatever.
Yeah, that locked himself in the chest.
Yeah. We remember
And
you.
then we saw a bunch of
2,000
stuff from
years
like
later.
from the different dynasties in China as well, like including the Han dynasty. So one of my friend that lives in New York, she is really into Dynasty Warriors. And
Wait, I have
Samurai
a really quick question.
Go for it.
Are these like the originals or are these mock-ups?
No, these are the originals.
You know,
They
it's
are,
kind
like,
of
pieces that are
crazy
donated.
fucking America just has all this shit from other people's cultures. Isn't
Well,
that just
I
kind of
mean,
crazy?
A lot of it
the
gets
question mark?
donated.
That's very
Or
common.
lot of it
Britain
gets
has the same
donated.
thing with their like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Museum of Natural History or whatever it's
Yeah. But in the case of the Met, all this stuff is donated by these different organizations to be
okay.
displayed in New York.
I was just wondering.
Yeah,
I was just like,
because
wait
I
a
said
second,
I
how
had
did
the
we
same
get all this
criticism,
shit?
and then like everywhere in the Met is like this exhibit is made possible by this institute and this organization from this country, etc.
This podcast
So-
is made possible by twitch.tv/BloodThunder. Everybody, this is the ad
God
read.
damn it! We were supposed to go a couple episodes.
Crazy work.
Shut up.
It's like a PBS show.
Yeah, right.
Hey man, if we give them an ad read, we don't have to give them money. You know what I mean? Like, think about it, guys.
That's true,
Paying
actually.
him an
You can also go and check
exposure.
out BloodThunder
This
at
podcast doesn't even make any money.
youtube.com/@BloodThunder.
Yeah, that's true. He makes great videos.
Yeah.
I'm lying. I haven't
He
looked
actually
at his channel
released,
a day in my life.
He
I watch
actually
his Twitch,
released
that's all I watch.
2 videos recently that were BioShock 2 OG and BioShock 2 remastered speedruns.
Shit, you've got to
Wow.
tap in, guys. Thank you. And
You
now
use code ETNA
Absolutely.
when you subscribe to
yeah,
Get
it actually
50%.
counts as 2 subscribers if you do that. So go ahead and
That's
and
crazy.
smash that button. Use hashtag ETNA when you subscribe on Twitch as well. You know, just to let them know that you came from us.
Dude, I
And
can't
that-
believe they had a
And
statue
let's
of
get back to the podcast.
BloodThunder at the Museum of Museum of Modern Art,
Can you just imagine,
and you
like,
can't even see his face because it's just covered by the microphone, like it is on his screen.
Motherfucker sitting there.
I just
I like how we
Dude.
went from sponsor. We're bullying the sponsor. We are
I'm
bullying
just-
the sponsor here.
I'm just imagining. So there's a
The ad
wing
read's
in
over. We can say what we want now. You know what I mean? Like,
so there's
I
a
did
wing
rap it.
in the there's a wing in the Met that's just called the American wing or the America wing, and now I'm just imagining one that's like this exhibit made possible by twitch.tv/BloodThunder. It's just him like flexing over the top of the doorway.
Or just him doing like one of his mirror selfies with like the right
Oh yeah, there
bicep.
you go.
We love you, BT.
Why are you at the Met? You should have met me at the gym. Twitch.tv/BloodThunder.
fire. That's a good one. We've got to keep that one for when he gets into the Met Gala.
In the
Dude,
back
I
pocket.
don't understand how, like, because I've been on this Blue Yeti shit since like the dawn of time. Like, I couldn't imagine like streaming or doing anything and just having a mic up in my face.
What, you mean like
Like-
this?
Yeah, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, like that would
Yeah.
just get like, cause like I move. I am a very like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Nestani knows because he has to edit the podcast and all the sounds that I make from like moving around constantly. But like,
Yeah, I just
couldn't
leave them in,
imagine,
bro.
like,
Like,
just-
if they've been listening to the episodes for like the past
Like,
15,
yeah, like
I
couldn't-
just, I just leave that shit
Just
in.
leave
I
it.
can't be asked to edit all that out. So
yeah.
they just hear
Yeah.
it raw nowadays.
They hear everything.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
after
I
the
catch a
after the
cosmic
Met,
cough though, and I cut that out. But other than that,
yeah. Just when I think I'm getting healthier, I realize, oh yeah, he just edited out the cough.
but no, I know what you mean though, because I mean that's the main reason I used my other mic for so long is because and honestly, like when I go back to streaming, I'll probably switch back to that mic. But I like this one for talking and stuff.
Sick.
Like on
yeah.
a podcast, but because like I'll be
Remember-
moving around more, like on my stream, I would probably use my other mic still because it's condenser and it just
I
picks up
don't-
more.
Like having something in front of me because I also tend to lean a little bit without even knowing it, and if I just like lean into the fucking mic, like that is gonna get really old really quick. But for like recording something, yeah, that makes sense. But like,
Yeah.
like for this, for example, I could see that. But like if I'm like playing Stewart and I'm just like
and you're
Mark the
gaming.
fucking
Yeah.
That'd be
or like
crazy.
Vex or something like that. Where
Yeah. I mean, the
sometimes
key
I'll, like-
is that you
sometimes
just
I'll FGC
you put
nod
you
when
put
I
it
speak
where
with it.
you like lean into, right? And then like, because I also lean forward when I'm gaming.
Yeah,
too,
but then sometimes I like lean way back.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you
Yeah.
lean back while you're gaming, you're a psychopath.
I have non-deterministic movement in terms of me sitting still.
Like imagine like you like doing like fucking like I don't know like GGS or something and just being like I just can't I've
Maybe
got to
when
be
you're
locked
practicing.
Yeah.
in. Yeah, I guess. But the point of a condenser is that you can
Yeah.
do that and then it'll still pick you up. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
True.
Anyway, that was
Yeah.
microphone tips with Nestani.
A tangent.
I hope
yeah.
everyone enjoyed that. Nobody asked. I delivered. Special
Hey,
delivery.
what is the podcast?
So after
Hashtag
the
Use
Met, we
code
went
ETNA
to.
hit the subscribe button down below.
All right, Jesus Christ.
So after the Met, we go to like Central Park
Also
and
hit
we
the like
walk
button.
around there for a little while.
I'm so
Oh
sorry.
my god!
And then we went to-
Bro, I want to hear the story.
We went to that castle. It's like Castle Verdusiel or something, or
Nice. Good
Verdusiel.
one.
What I forget exactly what it was, but it's like a little mini castle that was actually used as an observatory for a little while. And then now it's like under the property of a different department in
The Plum Club.
in like I think the New York government. But you can actually like go up into the area that was like the main like lookout or what like lookout tower essentially. The flight of stairs is like only enough for one person on either side. So like when you're going up or down it, you have to watch for other people coming up, or there's a guy actually sitting like with an iPad just watching the stairs, just saying like, hey, wait a second. Okay, now you can go up. And then there's like a mirror to look around the staircase when you're going back down, just because the staircase is like this big, like in
That's
terms
fire.
of being wide. Yep, it was interesting. And then all they had to drink
It's
in
probably
there
a
was just,
fire
like,
hazard, actually.
water.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Probably, yeah. But I mean, it's an old ass building, so it's kind of to be expected.
True.
Um,
They loved fire.
after
back
that, we took the subway to like wherever the Nintendo store is, essentially. It's like Nintendo New York.
then. Nintendo. San
And then
Andreas.
from there, that was where my friend's fiance, or where Razor's fiance, met up with us. And I got to meet him for the first time, and that was cool. I was like, sweet. And then we walked around that
Just
for a
like
little
that.
bit. There was only like
Just-
two.
Moving
Well, he
on.
was like-
That's all I get.
Anyway.
Well, it was one of those things where like, I said, hey man, great to meet you. And he was like really tired because he'd been jet lagged and like they'd been in, at the Grand Canyon a couple of days before.
Oh, damn.
So, and I think he had just finished like sleeping like 14 hours. So he was not in a talkative mood yet.
Dude, if I slept 14
then-
hours, I would be fucking yappuccino. Like, I would be fucking talking.
I feel like if I
I
slept
mean, you
14 hours,
might
I would be
not-
dead.
That's fair. Yeah. Everybody responds to sleep a little differently.
Dude, I need
But-
my winks, bro.
I feel
But
like I sleep.
so we
like,
go in
more
there,
than
and
8
that
hours
was
when I'm
like-
cooked.
that was an interesting place because like there was like a bunch of stuff in there, but also like at the same time I'd look around and be like, wow, I am like interested in almost nothing in here. They had Bonanza
Jaxler
on like the
core
big
walking into
screen.
the Nintendo store.
They had like Bonanza on the big screen, and I thought to myself, I really should have learned some speedrun tricks, so I could have just like hopped on the Bonanza setup and just done like some
Dude, would've been
skips and then
fire.
gotten
Yeah.
off.
Gone into
Yeah.
mode.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it was
Crazy.
such a missed opportunity by me, honestly. Like the bag fumble was real.
Skill issue.
Should've picked
It's
a top
true.
tier.
However, there was like there was some cool like memorabilia from like the launch of the Wii, or there was a time when one of the big like head honchos of Nintendo visited that Nintendo New York and had done some signings and stuff.
Wow.
And some other like anniversary related memorabilia that was just like in a display case. There was also a statue of Link and then like the squid from Splatoon. And the Link one said, please do not sit on Link next to it. There was a sign that just said it. And I was like, I don't think that's a problem for most people with statues of Link. But
Please
sure.
don't ride Link.
But so
Yeah,
you
please
can,
don't
you
ride
can
Link.
ride the squid.
Well,
It rides
the squid
Splatoon.
also had it, but the funnier joke is
Oh.
to just tell it about Link.
Yeah, you just
know.
ruined his joke, Cole.
Um,
You fucking bitch.
Given just yeah. Anyway, so we get out of Nintendo New York, And I'm trying to remember where exactly we went from there, but I think we went and got pizza at this place called like Little Italy or something, which is where there's a bunch of those around New York. And it was pretty cheap, so I was like, sick, awesome. This was also when I found out that they don't have free refills of soda in Australia. And Razor was really digging the free refills for soda in America. She was like, hell yeah, dude. And I remember explaining to them, like, so they didn't know what Snapple is either, okay? And I was like, this is how like fucked up American drinks are. Yeah. The drink, yes, Snapple. Okay. And I pointed at one of the Snapple bottles that was in one of the refrigerators there, and I said, in there is 190 calories. And they were both like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, just look at like the nutrition facts. And they were like, oh my God. So they got to experience some,
that's just normal to me. I'm just like, yeah, that's not shocking at all.
Yeah, it's like all juice.
Yeah. I mean, you got to realize that like there are some ingredients that companies use over here that are just straight up illegal to use in other countries.
Yeah, and I love it.
Like fucking high fructose corn syrup.
Or Red 40 is another one. Like that dye is like, because like in Skittles, for example, they use Red 40 for the red here, but then for Skittles in other countries, they use beets for the red color.
What's wrong with Red 40?
There's a bunch of weird bad shit about it.
There's 40 bad chemicals inside of it.
The fact that the name has a number in it makes me feel like you shouldn't eat it, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. That is fair.
Yeah. Imagine if it was like apple 32. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, like what happened
like,
to the first 39 Reds to where we're going to eat this one? Like
the 40th variation.
Yeah. We also went to Times Square for a bit of time. That was pretty cool. I mean, the last time I was in Times Square, it was nighttime and it was winter. The last time I was in New York City even was like 9 years ago with, like one of my earliest girlfriends, and it was wintertime. So this was a vastly different experience.
New Year's Eve?
No, it was December. Oh, okay. Like closer to Christmas time. So like a couple weeks before Christmas.
Do you miss her?
No. And so after getting out of Times Square,
is insane.
What an asshole.
Trying to think. I mean, it's a funny question, okay, and it's a valid question, but like, no, I just don't.
I think it's a valid question.
No, it is. I think
it's a
so.
great question. I don't know.
It's a decent question, especially since that was my frame of reference that I brought up. It's not exactly a non sequitur,
Yeah, it's not exactly a sequitur either.
Non-sex?
No, a non sequitur is a question or a statement that does not follow logically from the previous statement or question.
We're learning so many things on this podcast.
Non-Ecuador. Okay, moving on.
After getting out of Times Square, we visited we randomly went into Whole Foods, and I think it was because I was convinced there were energy drinks in there, and then I was wrong. I was dead ass wrong. So we went to like a couple of bookstores after that, and those were pretty tight. And then both Razor and her fiance were like, "Yeah,
goodbye.
We're gonna probably go to bed because we're pretty tired." And I was expecting to be there for like another, like 3 hours or something. But I was like, okay, that's fine, because they still had like the rest of their trip to get to. And so they were like, we got to be mindful of that, and we're doing other stuff and blah blah blah, So
and we actually
the vacation's not quite over yet.
That much. So we're actually
that's fair.
Go to bed.
But I got to say goodbye to her and then my other friend and then the friend's fiance, and so that was cool. I mean, we had some pretty good conversations as well.
I thought you were just gonna say you just completely ignored the fiance.
No.
I didn't even think
that would have been fire.
I just ignored.
He had opened up a little bit by the end there, because when we were in like Little Italy, we all started talking about fighting games, and like the experience that the Australians had at Evo, and like kind of how we thought like on the current fighting game climate and all that sort of stuff, and like talking about some games, like how locals are over in Australia and what games are popular there, what kind of games like fell off that remained popular, over in America, for example. Yeah. It was pretty cool. It was really dope to, hear these sort of things just straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, as opposed to a friend talking to you about it 10 time zones away or whatever the fuck. And it's like, it's just another like one of those reminders that like I have so many friends everywhere, and it is always like such a treat to see them. Even if it's only for like 8 hours, in a day, it's always just such a treat.
Yeah.
And so then, 7:30 or like 8 o'clock, it was like, all right, well, time to head out of New York and get back home. And I was home by like 11 or 11:30.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I was quite pleased because that meant I got to sleep a decent amount. I mean, I would have definitely, stayed up long enough that I would have gotten home at 3 a.m. and then slept like 3 or 4 hours and then went to work.
For sure.
But, I was planning to be there until like midnight or so. Because I was just like, this is the only time I'm really going to be able to make it out for this, because I didn't really have enough PTO to be able to commit to more than a day.
Yeah.
But such is life, unfortunately. But it was a really dope time. I was very glad to have made the trip out there. And it was another one of those things where like, as I've gotten more comfortable like traveling by myself, this was very much like a big step, because I feel like in the past I would have like needed somebody to essentially hold my hand like through the whole fucking, through the process. Like the only person that I really had reached out to, because like PMC was the one that told me.
PMC Trilogy has done it again.
The GOAT, yeah. Because I was asking him about train stations and what he recommended. He told me one, but he was actually the one that informed me. This podcast brought to you by New Jersey Transit, but he was the one that told me about the New Jersey Transit app. And so I was like, cool. I don't think he uses it because he bikes everywhere, but
yeah, he is his own transit.
Yeah, he is his own transit. And I feel comfortable mentioning that he lives in New Jersey because he talks about it all the time. So
New Jersey.
And he's mentioned it on his stream.
Wow,
so
they sound just like that.
But anyway,
I know. I'm so convinced.
But yeah, it was pretty dope. So I just went to New York by myself, and then it was like, sweet, it was pretty cool. Yep.
Dude,
and none of us did
awesome,
anything
man.
as cool as that this past week. So
I'm
went to
monitoring
Chicago.
Oh shit!
oh yeah,
really?
you did go to go kart.
Go karting.
Go.
Yeah, I rode around in go-karts
to the
in
polls. Pokemon Go.
But I didn't ride in any trains or do anything that cool though.
Well, what did
I
you
didn't
do?
hang out with Razor
Coley?
Scooter and like a fiance.
Well,
I
have,
just, like,
we have like 10 minutes to
visited,
fill.
like-
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm not used to talking on this
Extend
show.
it out.
What do I say?
I'm not used to talking on this show. On a fucking podcast is insane work.
This is like the person. This is like the person that plays support in League of Legends, being like, I'm really not used to warding a whole lot because the rest of my team just wins so hard. The rest of our games, but this game where we're behind, I got a ward now, dude.
Oh, dude.
Like, Jesus.
But I went to Chicago just because my grandmother's sister lives there, so my great aunt, and they're getting old, and you never know when it's the last time you're gonna see them.
I'm like, whoa.
They're getting married, Sweet Home, Illinois. But you never know when one of them is gonna die.
Chicago and Illinois.
It's like the last time.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I just
Did
want
you not
to
know
say
that?
for the record that they make fun of me for geography. I just want to
Wait.
say this. Where did you think
What
it
is
was?
Ohio? Is Ohio a city? or
Ohio
a
is
state?
2 states east.
Oh, okay.
What is Ohio?
It goes Illinois, Indiana, Ohio.
I don't know why, but I thought Chicago was in Ohio,
What?
but it's in Illinois. Okay. I didn't think anything was in Illinois.
Bruh.
Me and Jax are going crazy here.
I mean,
all of
you're
them
not
are
wrong.
the same,
Other
bro.
than
They're just like a
Chicago, there
fucking
really isn't
flat
anything
piece
in
of, like,
Illinois.
bread, bro. There's nothing going on. It's all just flat
I mean,
bread.
yeah, in the rest of Illinois, that is true. Like, God damn it.
Hey man, I
There's a
can't
lot
be
of
fucked
corn
to
there.
know anything about all these Midwest places, bro.
There's
Can't tell them
You're gonna
apart.
tell me 9/11 was in 2011. Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
No, that was in 2001 because I never forget.
Ooh, that's good.
True.
But we're not talking about New York anymore. We're talking about Chicago, and that's why Chicago's better. Is because anyway. So, but yeah, I went down there, and so both my grandma and my great aunt have dementia, and so it just gets a little weird in conversations and stuff. It's actually it's frankly a little sad to me because I
have to repeat stuff.
like. It's not even that. It's like my great aunt is definitely in a worse stage of dementia than my grandma is, but it's like I haven't seen her in so many years that it's like she doesn't recognize me, and which is a little sad. But the weirder thing though is just like the way that she behaves, where I was just striking up a conversation for her. So I was like, "Well, so what do you do during the day or whatever?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm still a substitute teacher, and I'm thinking about getting a job at a store." And I'm like, "What? You've been retired for like 20 years." She's living in the past kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's
it's almost
scary.
like it's very weird. I didn't mean for the conversation to go this way,
No,
but
it's-
I mean,
but it is
both
sort of
my
like a strange thing.
grandparents
But I'm
had
glad that I
Alzheimer's,
went.
So, I mean,
Alzheimer's.
yeah,
Yeah.
Alzheimer's. What are you
Oh my God.
what are you talking about, bro?
Why
They had
are you
Alzheimer's.
laughing
Why are you
at
laughing?
It's
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's, not Alzheimer's.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Bro,
Like,
it's Alzheimer's. I don't know what
the
you
difference-
want, bro. I'm from Tennessee. What do you want from me?
Wait,
Okay.
how do you say it?
Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's.
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 So what did you say?
Jaxler,
He said
go.
Alzheimer's, and it's Alzheimer's.
I feel like
Am
we're
I
saying
getting-
the same thing. I'm just
Come
saying.
on,
Do
back me
y'all
up here.
I don't know.
Do y'all
what
remember 20 minutes ago when we were talking about like symbols on ancient armor?
Dude, and that was fucking
and now
sick,
we're
but now we're learning something
arguing
new.
over the
I have-
pronunciation of
Hey,
Alzheimer's.
We
I
learned
spelled
about the
Alzheimer's,
OBS
and he's the
logo.
one just like going
It is
right over
spelled
there in the corner by himself.
Alzheimers.
And I'm from Tennessee,
Alzheimer's,
bro. Fuck your letters. It's Alzheimer's. I don't know what you want from me.
Bro picks up
Guys,
his
I have
fork
a
and
meme
knife
for this
like ass
for this
like, come on.
purpose. Right. I'm gonna send it. I have it on speed dial.
This feels like Man Ray giving the wallet to Patrick. Like that's.
It's in voice chat. Go ahead.
Sorry, let me,
oh
let
boy.
me let me just simmer for a sec.
I'll read it out for the podcast folk. I guess this makes sense. I guess I'll throw it up on the screen. But it's the lady screaming at the cat that's just
Oh.
like sitting there in front of the thing, and it's all of you guys, and it's all y'all, and then it's pecan, it's pecans, and it's pecans. And then I couldn't even say it the correct way. Is it pecans? Is it actually that? Is it not
Pecans.
pecans? Okay, whatever.
Pecans.
And
It's
then
pecans, yeah.
okay, that's weird as fuck. That's my oldest risk goes hand-me-downs. You know what I mean? We know what that is. And then sleepover, spending the night, aluminum foil, tenfold. I don't actually say tenfold. That's not me. That's a little too south for me. Has a
little
fever,
too much.
running a temperature. I do say that.
That one we had in my family.
It's a chest of
Yeah.
drawers, chest of drawers. I don't say that. And then it's a sneaker, tennis shoe. I also say tennis shoe. Because it's not tennis shoe. Like how many syllables? It's tennis shoe, bro. Like I don't know.
Dude, I thought you
And
were
so
just
I think this
making,
is
like, a
very
pun.
relevant to the conversation of Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer.
T and Z is such a different consonant, though. That's like impressive levels of.
What are you
linguistic
saying? It's
ignorance.
Alzheimer's? Like what are you talking about?
Yes!
Alzheimer's.
It's Alzheimer's.
It's Alzheimer's.
I just wanna-
That's how
can
you
we
say
please-
it. Alzheimer's.
Please.
No, it's- there's an
Alzheimer's.
H
With
in
the
there.
hard Z, bro.
There's
Wait,
a ha. There's a Z and then a ha.
Alzheimer's.
It's called an H.
Alzheimer's.
It's called the letter H.
I like how you misfired you misfired the Alzheimer's message into pick a top tier.
I meant to go into voice chat.
Please just acknowledge the fact that. Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
Can we just acknowledge the fact that like we have a clip now of Nestani going, my grandparents had Alzheimer's, and then Jax goes, like, that's why I was like, Why are you
That's
laughing
true.
at
what
that?
the fuck, Jaxler? Like, I
That
don't
is
know, like,
not cool.
What are we
bro.
talking about here, man?
Well,
Bro is
Shut the
laughing
fuck up.
at a serious disease. Holy shit.
Man, I don't know what to tell you. My grandparents had Alzheimer's, and that's how we say it. I don't know
I
what
think
you
you have
want.
Alzheimer's.
You have all time. Okay.
That's,
got
that's how.
Alzheimer's, bro.
That's how we.
I think you have
I don't know what
diarrhea
you
of the
want.
brain.
I don't know how this has never happened on the podcast before, but yes, I am from the South. Unfortunately, everyone. I don't know if you could tell.
I literally agreed with you, Nestani. Like, I did not
See,
think
my
about
grandma's
that
from Tennessee, but she never said any of that shit. Or not all any of
Yeah, but you're
like,
cringe, bro, and you're from the fucking Midwest. Like, what you want?
My grandma's from fucking Lookout Mountain. What the fuck? Fuck you.
Yeah, and you need to
That
look
gotta
out
be
for
made
your
up.
language.
That's a
nigga, you know
Fortnite.
what I mean?
That's a Fortnite location. Look Mountain.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like,
You're on a
come on.
Fortnite map? That's crazy. Your grandparents
Dude,
invented
grandma,
Fortnite?
grandma hopped out of the battle bus and
Yeah, well, she didn't get that
fucking-
victory royale because she's dead now. Okay. Anyway.
Oh shit.
W death. Speaking of dead, my grandparents had Alzheimer's and they're both dead now. But going back
Jax
to
thinks
what
that's really
Cole's was
funny.
saying, he does
It
think
is
it's
very
really
funny.
funny.
It's really funny, actually.
And
Okay, I just
I
and
remember
not
there was
because
like
I
it's
did not mean
Alzheimer's,
to
but
steer the conversation.
it's because
like
they're
this.
dead. Actually, that's why it's funny.
That's true,
Continue,
yeah.
Cole.
And there's like a clear day where like
Oh,
I
jeez.
remember my mom like came home and she was like fucking like crying because like her dad did not recognize her, and then it's just like and it's just tough, you know what I mean? Where it's just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then also it changes their behavior like drastically and like because like my granddad was a like preacher, like super like not aggressive person at all, like nicest human ever,
Oh,
right?
dude.
And then, but once he had Alzheimer's, he actually got very aggressive and would like hit people
That-
and like cause
yeah.
a bunch of commotion and stuff. And it's just like, you know what I mean? And
They like become completely different people.
yeah, and it's like they're
That is my
nothing
grandma.
like
Yep.
themselves like at all. And it's just like it's kind of scary. And it's also just like. I don't know. For me, I'm just like, can we like put them out of their misery? Like, I don't know. Like, but also the thing is that like they probably don't even feel that way, right? Because they don't
Yeah.
they don't know, they
Yeah,
don't
it's
understand
so
anything. So
weird.
it's kind of like this weird catch-22
Yeah.
where it's just like, and really like it like it hurts the people around them way more than it hurts them.
Yeah,
You know what I
than it
mean? Which
hurts
is kind of interesting because it's like one of the only disease that affects other people more than like the individual, in my opinion. Which you could argue, well, they don't remember anything, like, but like, I don't know. I feel like if you like imagine like you're 40 years old and you have been talking to your dad and your mom for 40 years straight, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Who are you?" Like
That's like what the
gotta
hell?
fucking.
Yeah.
That's like
Omega War?
different. Yeah,
Like-
it's a little
I
different.
honestly feel like that is worse than just like this. I mean, this might be kind of morbid, but I feel like that's somewhat worse than death. Like if they just died, at least to me, like because it's like you see the physical thing that was that person that you knew, and it's like that can't be them anymore. Like there's no way
Yeah.
that is them, but it is, and it's like what?
Yeah.
But no, my grandma is similar where she's not like aggressive, but she's just like kind of a bitch sometimes. Like
Crazy word choice there, but go.
but she's
Okay.
never, but she's not, because I don't know, maybe just because like I'm just the grandson, so I'm not like the one leading the pack of like what we're doing on the vacation. But anyway, the reason why I brought all this up though was because my grandma and her sister loved going to a casino that was in the town we were at, and I've never been to a casino. And
Any gamblers?
I
in the
didn't know
chat?
what to expect, but I don't really have like
Money.
My preconceived notion of gambling is already a very negative one. So I
same.
assumed that I wasn't going to like it because I've known some people that
Oh, it's
get
the
addicted
opposite.
to things like, yeah, I'm not a fan.
I
I'm
love
not a fan
gambling.
of like FanDuel.
I'm against
Really?
gambling, but
No.
I love gambling.
No, dude.
Really?
What are you saying?
Um,
Really to me, like unironically, Mr. Jaxler?
Yeah.
Bro, I played Genshin Impact for 2 years, bro. What do you?
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Like, I was playing
But
AFK
I
Journey
don't know,
last year, like nonstop. Like,
No,
love
I thought you
gambling.
meant like traditional gambling, like gambling
Oh
just
no,
for
but I
money.
would like it if I did it, like for sure.
Okay.
I
It's
feel like
super- it's-
gambling's one of those things where like you can be against it, but you also understand why people like it. You know what I mean? Like I get it.
Yeah.
I understand why
I feel like
people
that's
like
just
it.
anything you can be addicted to.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I understand why
It's
people.
just-
Well, I don't understand why people like heroin. I think that's a little different, but because I have
Oh, it
gambled
feels so
before in
good,
AFK
though.
Journey. You know?
Oh.
You know, like fentanyl is like
No.
if you were like driving through a torrential downpour and then you got to like a bridge and everything went silent. I couldn't get through that with a straight face. That was
Yeah, what
tough.
the fuck are you talking about? I just got
I've
this
brought up
podcast
that
went
example
from
like 55
educational to
times
just
on this podcast. That's why. I remember the last time
anyway.
I said
Cosmic's
that,
just hanging
Cosmic
on
was
for
like,
dear
"Isn't that a
life right
fucking
now."
fentanyl reference?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Nope, we're back. Cosmic's back. He's associating again.
Yeah.
He's
he
associating.
literally just. Do you
He's
have Alzheimer's, bro? Like,
associating
he's
again.
gone. Like,
It's
hello?
so funny.
Anyway, no,
Hey,
I
welcome
get
back to the podcast,
Um,
Cosmic. You know, dude,
yeah.
this is what happens when Cosmic's not talking. He just fucking ignores us for the entire time. We found his secret. That's why he goes on these tangents for 15 minutes because he's like, "Wait, have we had 15 minutes of dead air on this podcast? I need to talk straight."
No, I'm
Anyway.
chilling.
But so the thing, okay, moving on. The thing is though,
Petition
is
that
that
Cosmic
in
has
college,
Alzheimer's. I'm beginning it now.
in co-
God. Anyway,
I do be having
Gambling.
some Alzheimer's though. Seeing my
yeah,
401k
they're having
and
some
being like boom
Alzheimer bits in this
Tetris.
episode.
okay,
The boom
alright,
Tetris
alright.
about the 401k, that's an Alzheimer.
Oh,
Yeah.
great long piece. Put it in my hole.
Can we move on?
Can we move back? Yeah, I was gonna say, can we go back to gambling?
For the love of God.
For once, I'm actually gonna say, can we talk about gambling again?
I love gambling. Anyway, go ahead, Cole.
But I read this. So in college, I took this class that was supposed to be about like
Gambling.
like communication and culture with like technology and how they kind of coexist or whatever.
Ew.
And I read this book that was basically about how casinos are designed in a way for people to never leave and to be addicted. Like that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
they
Oh,
want.
yeah,
because
yeah,
it
yeah.
gets
Oh,
them
yeah.
the most money. And since I'd never been in a casino before and I read
Fucking
the book,
bright as hell.
I basically spent most of the time not gambling, but just people watching and like environment, like looking around and stuff. And so like the book was like, there are no windows in a casino because they don't want you to know what time of day it is. They don't want you to look outside and see that the sun is setting and you need to go home. And sure enough, no windows. There's also no like sharp turns at all. Everything is out like in a flat, easy. And if there are turns, it's like curves. So then everything's just fluid. You can get to it really easily. It's accessible. And then like these slot machines are huge. Like they're just like, it's like your own little pod basically where, and everybody's seen that, or not everybody, but like it was a popular video like a few years ago where it's like old people's TikTok and it's all these old people just like pressing the button over and over again on the slot machine. Like
Nice.
there were some people that were just straight up doing that, but like I sat in a slot machine and I put in a 20 and
Damn.
Jeez,
This guy doesn't have a job and he put in a 20? That's crazy.
that's actually not even
I'm
that
dropping
much
like
in
a
comparison.
fucking. I'm dropping like a 5, bro. I don't know. Anyway, go
Well,
ahead.
5 isn't going to do you that much, even if you
Guy's a
play
high
for
roller.
like. No, well, no, because
20
you play
bucks
for
is the high
30
roller
cents.
is
You play
crazy
for
work.
30 cents each time. Like, have you used a slot machine before or no? Well, it depends on the slot machine you go for.
No.
Okay, that's what I figured. No, so every time you press, that's why. Okay, well,
that last like 5 minutes talking about how my only gambling experience is AFK Journey and Genshin Impact.
Genshin
I didn't hear that it was
Impact.
your only. Okay, but like basically how it works is you put in. For them, they didn't even accept coins. It was just you had to put in $1 amount, and then every bet is like however many cents you want. And the whole gimmick is that the higher you bet, the bigger your chances of getting a reward, quote unquote. So like the lowest you do that, like every machine that we went to, my not my great aunt, but my aunt was very prominent on being like, let's just do the 40-cent ones or the 30, like the cheaper ones. Let's not do like $1 or whatever. So then every time you press play, like it gets rid of like however many cents. And then like you either obviously win or lose. But all these slot machines, they have like this weird gimmick where there's like these, like, there's these very nice sound effects and everything's lit up in such an engaging way. And then like with all these bonuses, like there's like an icon. It could be like a bag of money, a piggy bank, whatever. And then it gets like bigger over time. But it's like the opposite. You know how a car gas gauge, it like starts at full and it stays full for like a really long time. And then after it gets to like half tank, like the gauge sort of goes faster. Do you guys know what I'm talking about or no? That is a thing in cars. Maybe just because I'm from Michigan, like everybody knows that shit.
But
I'll
take your word for it.
It's the opposite of that.
I'm going to say I don't
slot
believe you
machines.
to be different.
Fair enough. But it's the opposite with these slot machines where it's like at the start they're like, whoa, look at this, you filled up the money bag, and if you fill up the money bag then you get a special bonus for your gambling. And then like when it gets up to the top, like it's like you didn't get it yet. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I see my own flesh and blood, my own sibling went to a machine and fell for the trap where he's like, I'm so close to getting the bag. Like, I'm so close to getting it. And I'm like, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. But I did not give any hard-earned cash to this establishment. I'm not. And so I put in a 20 and when I got 23, I took it out. And I went to the cashier and I got my money. So I gained $3. I did not give anything to that establishment.
Gonna go back and do it again. You know, if you go back and get then, $3 more, you know what I mean? Then you'll make it $6. You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
That would be fire.
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
No.
That was like a whole month's worth of work on the YouTube.
But I don't know. It was very disturbing to me for some reason, just like going through there and even like one of my cousins was even like, if I give you a 20, will you at least just play? And I was like,
no.
I'm not. I don't want, like, it just doesn't make me feel. I would have gone to the card tables, but there were some people there that actually looked like they were there to do some business. Like they were not, like if I showed up being like, hi, how do you play roulette? They would have looked at me and been like, what's this fucking kid doing here?
No, they wouldn't. They would invite you down and steal your money. That's what they would do.
Well, you know, maybe that's true.
They would be actually super inviting. They would be like, hell yeah, fresh blood.
Yeah.
Devilish.
Yeah, exactly.
I like money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the scariest thing about gambling is that because it's like so, like it's so easy to get addicted to it, right? Like it's so, like, I mean, you were just pointing out that your sibling was just like immediately falling for the trap, and I think that's like the whole thing with it is that it's so easy to just be like, oh, because you just like walk in and you get it immediately. You're like, I understand why people like to do this, and it's like it's funny because it's like, why aren't you like participating? Like we're all here to gamble for fun, but it's also just like, how much fun can you have before you're like, you know, addicted to it? You know what I mean? Because that's like a different line for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, some people can go in like once a year and like gamble every year and be fine, but then another person goes in and gambles once a year, and then by year 3 they're like again, like, you know, twice a year, and then it spirals. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and I think it just depends. Which it's just an interesting.
Yeah, which as far as I know, nobody in my family has ever been addicted to gambling, and I mean like. My grandma and my great aunt find it fun to just hang out and shoot the shit while they just play a slot machine or do whatever. Then they get like a bite to eat and a beer afterwards, you know? And that's exactly what we did. But I don't know. It was just kind of, I just feel like gambling today is just so prominent.
It's
and
so
I
normalized.
Feel like I don't. Yeah, and I just don't feel like
especially in the sports world
really think about it that much. They had a whole section where the carpet looked like it was like lawn grass, and they had these super nice like comfortable recliners where people could bet, and then they could just watch like all like 12 games playing on the like the TV screens, and then like pay attention to everything. And I was like, oh my god. But
dude, it is literally insane how many sports betting like networks there are, and like everyone, like I know you guys aren't on NBA YouTube, but like if you're on NBA YouTube, every single podcast is by FanDuel, by fucking the other ones that I don't know the name of, BetMGM, DraftKings, like all of them. Like every single podcast is sponsored by, and it's just like normalized, and they just like don't care. And I'm like, because like the whole thing about like sports betting is that you feel like you're more in control because you're like, oh, I know how these players are going to perform, and so you feel like you have a leg up on the competition when it is just still gambling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not really that way into your favor. Because, like, why do you think sports betting is still a thing? Because if everyone was just making money off of it, it wouldn't.
then it wouldn't exist.
It wouldn't exist. So, like,
it would not make a profit.
I think the funniest thing I saw was I was watching like a video kind of like talking about like Scott Foster, the extender, and kind of like his like, ties to like sports gambling. Yeah, like sports gambling and all of that shit. And that video was sponsored by a sports gambling website. And the guy in the video was like talking about how fucking awful sports gambling is and has been for the sport of basketball while being sponsored by a fucking sportsbook website. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is bad. Oh my Lord. Dude, I don't get the appeal. I'm a very risk averse person. Just like,
we know.
This is a known fact about me, but it's just like, dude, when I went to Vegas for TwitchCon a couple years ago, like I was just when Colvin, you've been talking about this, I just been kind of thinking back to that experience because like I didn't go gambling, but we had to like go through like a casino floor in order to get to the restaurant that a friend had made a reservation at, and like on the way out, we could not find our way out. Like we got lost, like and we could not find a way out to get back to street level because it was such a fucking maze, and it was just like. It's scary. Wow. It's dystopian. Honestly, it's dystopian is the way I would put it. Like,
yeah, it's a rather unique addiction, I guess, because usually it's based off of like a substance that's accessible to you from any location, but like a casino, like, well, that's not true now because of sports betting and stuff and online gambling. You could do it from your phone, but. I mean, for a long time, gambling was just like you had to go to that place to do it, and like if you leave, you couldn't do it anymore. You know? Yeah, you can just swipe on your phone and do that shit. So
the casinos are still pretty like big of a thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Definitely. I mean, I assume they are. I never hear. Yeah. I hear more people talk about movie theaters closing down than casinos, so I assume that casinos are doing fine.
Well, I just don't know if it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, you know, as people like fucking shrivel up and die, you know, like it'll transition to online shit.
No,
I see.
0%.
Yeah,
no.
I don't know.
I think casinos are super fine. I think they make enough money.
Well, yeah, because they'll get people addicted. That's not like it's just like in terms of like people are going to be addicted to gambling. That's not my concern.
I think the thing is that
it is my concern, but like.
Yeah, I think it's easier to get addicted to the gambling when you have all the lights and it's like an endless maze and like there's no windows. Like that's way more damning than if you're sitting at home like gambling, in my opinion, because you still like have work in the morning or you still have to like, you know, do something or you see the sun go down. Like, you know what I mean? You're like there's still like other visual cues to get you out of the cycle technically. But like at like a physical casino, it's like the most like advanced form of like manipulation that there is, right?
Hardwired.
Like it's like it is like hundreds of years of how do we manipulate these people the best way possible to get them addicted to gambling, right? Like that's their business plan, and so they've designed all these things and be like, all right, fucking swiping, like fucking like big holes, fucking you're doing this, you know what I mean? And it's just like wow.
Yep. It's crazy.
Guys, I might re-download AFK Journey. I think that would be lit.
No!
Wake up!
Wake up! Stop! Wake up!
It's a good game, man. I don't know what you want.
Wait, before we end this, can I say one more thing about dementia real quick?
I don't know why you're laughing about Alzheimer's, bro, but you know.
Well, because it's really funny to play Cards Against Humanity with somebody with dementia. Because that's exactly what I did. And so like my great relative doesn't understand the rules. Why did I say my great relative? My great aunt.
The greatest relative I have. Let me tell you.
She would forget like what the rules are. And you know, in Cards Against Humanity, you're not supposed to like tell other people your cards. And she would just start randomly like saying them out loud. She was like, the white liquid known as jizz? Well, that's not appropriate to like she would keep doing that shit. So like
that's fire.
So then like somebody was like, hey, all right, Auntie. So that's the black card. So what are you gonna choose for the white card? And he was like, well, this one says big rhinoceros cock. Should I play that one? And she just kept doing that the whole time.
Dude, that's
and it was
awesome.
So funny. It was that. See, it was moments like that where I was like, oh, that's fun. But yeah, I just wanted
This
to
is
say
the
that
fun
one.
side to dementia.
This is the.
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
This is the comedy angle.
I was really hanging in there when you were like, it's really fun to play a game against somebody with dementia. I was like, I gotta hold out for a moment to make sure that this is a take I can get behind.
They keep forgetting the controls, and I keep 3-stocking them. It's great.
It's like the mental equivalent of like handing like your little brother the unplugged PlayStation controller. Just
Okay.
like,
Oh,
I was playing against my great grandfather in Initial D, and I was just dusting him the whole time, dude. Good grief, man.
And speaking of dusting things, you all should dust the subscribe button and the like button.
yeah, with your
Dust them off.
Press it. Just
And
press
then-
it. Just fuck this
Press
analogy.
it.
Just press it, please. We need it
Yeah.
desperately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help.
I also have a Clips
Facts.
channel. You should check it out.
I haven't
you wanna
uploaded on
see-
it in like 2 months, but you should check it out anyway.
Yeah, we're funny
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you should.
True.
But yeah,
Believe us, please.
Anything to shout
other
out?
than that-
Anyone? No one has anything?
I'll go real quick. So
Go for it.
I am going to be. I don't. This will. We'll see where I've gone with this by the time this airs. But I have been doing some sciencing with Vex and testing the Xbox version of the game, and so
Yo, you boot up Vex
funny
on
story.
there.
So I want Vex to get into speedrunning marathons, so I've been messing around with the Xbox version of the game. But because like the loads are way faster.
Yeah.
Like the first load of Vex is like an 8-second load on GameCube. It's like 2.5 to 3 on Xbox.
Damn.
On
That's sick.
HDL, yeah. So I soft modded my OG Xbox, but the problem was that because it's the Xbox version, it auto saves so long as you have hard drive space. So what I ended up doing is I made like a dummy file, like that was just like it was all zeros, right? So it was just like a dummy binary file or whatever that I made in command prompt. And I threw that onto the modded Xbox, like that like partition that the game was on, so that the game could not save. And so now it will no longer auto save, which is going to make it even faster.
Nice.
But because I think I'm the
hacker
only
picks.
person to have ever tried this, the big reason no one plays on Xbox is because the heart dupe and dagger crack doesn't work. At least we don't think it works because you have to have the memory card unplugged, so you can't save. But
if you
nobody's
can't
ever
save
been
the
able
whole
to.
run, then you can.
There's a
even
chance
do-
it might work.
And all you have to do is just
shit.
not mess up the whole run.
Dude, this is some Einstein
No
shit
safety
here,
shit.
Yeah,
bro.
it is
This
some
is
Einstein
some
level
theoretical
fucking shit.
physics.
Yeah,
Holy
so
crap.
I'm gonna be
Wait.
at some.
Not
Oppenheimer
to
music.
absolutely like cramp your style, but if you want this to get into a marathon, and the whole basis is you cannot mess up anything for the whole game. Or is there
I can't wait to be
is there like a
commentating
death
this
mechanic
run,
or
and then-
something? like
And
if-
then
You
Jaxler
can get
just pulls
extra
out a
lives
spare.
pretty easily.
He
So,
just
like,
pulls out a
there's
spare
no
hard
chance-
drive and goes, "Here's my safety saves," and just plugs it into the
I
back.
have well here's the thing. When you soft mod an OG Xbox, it breaks it up into the drive into partitions for you automatically. And so it has multiple partitions for you to save games on. So I could have another copy of Vex on that same drive in a different partition that could save files potentially. So that would be the idea.
Okay, fair enough.
Hell
So I
yeah.
would have like a separate copy of the game on that hard drive.
It just
that
sounded pretty
I could
risky
load
to
up
me,
into a-
but if you're not concerned about losing out on lives, then I guess it's fine.
I'm not.
But then it's just like, do you have to
Um,
route in lives, or you know what I mean? I don't know.
No, you don't. You don't have to. And certain
I don't know
things have
anything about the
gotten a
game,
bit-
so
yeah, certain things have gotten a bit safer since then. In terms, so like
I guess I learned half
in
the
the
game,
last,
but I don't know anything
in,
about the game.
instead in like the last world of the game, that's like really tough. If you die, it reloads a extra life that is literally in the way of your normal movement route for 2 of the hearts. So like for one of the hardest sections in the run, you can kind of just throw yourself at it and not worry about game overing. And then if you're worried about game overing it, you just play really fucking safe pussy ass movement.
Yeah, pussy.
And worst comes to worst, you just load the backup save off that other copy of the game, I suppose. But ideally that doesn't.
So you're gonna be
happen, but,
sciencing.
like, I'm gonna be sciencing. So yeah, the whole reason I'm saying this is I'm gonna be sciencing this on stream maybe the next couple of days. And if not, I'm gonna be continuing to probably do some Miska Tiny Tail runs, which have been
Miscellaneous.
Fuck yeah.
Also, we finally have come to an agreement. One, to allow potentially turbo for mashing through all the cutscene dialogue, which would be so fucking nice. And also to end time once you start the dialogue for the final cutscene, as opposed to having to mash through 3.5 minutes of cutscene before time is called.
Dude, we should put Turbo and Scooby so we can do Hedge
Yeah,
Gate
that's
Club.
fucked.
Honestly, I'd fuck with it. I'd fuck with it.
Dude, we gotta do that hot sauce meme category.
Hot sauce me.
Anyway,
Yeah,
does anyone else
that's
have
just-
anything to shout out before we go?
So this copy of this game finally came in for me.
Oh shit.
10,000 bullets.
Not to be
So,
confused with 10,000
and
fists.
I now no. See, I'm glad that he didn't at least make the joke of, wow, there's 10,000 bullets in that case. So I now can actually convert, say, like max drive saves that I find on GameFAQs, because for whatever reason on GameFAQs, everybody, for any game that you pick, has an 100% save file. So I have found out more things about this game that I did not know because I hadn't unlocked all the different difficulties and everything. So now I get to clean up the boards a little bit after doing more runs, and now I get to actually do hardware runs instead of just emulator. So I will be doing more of those. Basically my big thing with this now is I'm calling my shot. Like this is going to be one of the GDQ submissions for next year.
Ooh, he's
Because
calling
this
it
game
now,
is
early.
tight. I don't know if it'll get in, but it's very in the vein of like Gungrave and Max Payne in terms of like the pure gameplay standpoint. And the committee seemed to really like Gungrave, so this is like a little more in depth because it has like multiple characters in it, and there's like actual skills and stuff that you can upgrade. So I think it's a good time. The big hurdle that I'm going to really have to overcome is finding a way to reduce the loads, because the loads in it are pretty long. I think there is something that I can use for that with structuring commentary around it, but there's some more routing. I need to get it onto a hard drive and then see what I can do with it from there. Usually I install games just straight from the disk, but since this is PAL and JP only, HD Loader and OPL can only do it from NTSC UC. So
That's cringe.
unfortunate, but I have to probably just use some other hardware and see what I can conjure up that way. But because I think that'll definitely increase the chances. There's some other things I can do, but that's kind of for another time that I'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm excited to actually do some real hardware runs of this. So it cost me way too much for that copy, but we're not going to talk about that.
Cole, is your video out?
We are going to talk about it actually, because the EU secondhand market is dog
here we
shit.
go.
Holy fuck! All these guys and women also, and maybe non-binary people are selling out of EU as well. Whatever you are, you're pricing your games too high. It is not a privilege to just get to buy the game from you just because you're in EU. This game is not worth however much I paid for it. If you priced it like a normal human being, it would have been at least $20 or $30 less than what I had paid. Because let me tell you something, okay? The Japanese version of that game, worth way less, and it's the exact same game. And there's probably almost as much English text in that version as there is in this. So, price your games normal, please. If you're selling on eBay out of Europe, please.
Yeah, you fucking
Thank you.
cocksucker.
Well,
I didn't say that, but so Cole, do you have anything?
Okay. No.